with Pastor Simba Holoza. We do this every Thursday around about this time. Pastor Simba is our love coach. He is the founder and programs coordinator of Firstborns Marriage Africa. He's also an author of a book titled The Marriage Handbook and a pastor at Praise City Church. And today we're looking at fathers and their impact on the family structure. Pastor Simba, good morning. How are you doing?
Morning, Vikendi. I'm doing well. The weather, I've always told you that if I had loads and loads of money, because me and winter, we are not friends.
Oh, you're not friends?
We are not buddies.
I see now.
So I struggle.
I'm Stombofara.
I'm
Stombofara. Which is good.
Yeah, of course. I have to.
Happy birthday to Pastor Glory. I saw that it's a birthday.
Oh, thank you. So I said to Pastor Glory, in fact, she humbly requested that I handle the cash gifts.
Oh, I see now.
Because all this drama,
it is so chic.
Of course.
Happy birthday to you, Pastor Glory. So today we're looking at fathers and their impact on the family structure. Let's get into it.
Yes. Can you allow me to comment on your trending story, Vikendi?
Yes, please.
Yeah. That was actually something else, because I'm also a firstborn, so I relate with most of the things Rajita Ronaldo, and I also interact with a lot of firstborns, and definitely society expects them to actually take over and become deputy parents. Firstborns have to actually step up and take up the responsibility. But the big question, Vikendi, is always, at what point do these deputy parents become witches? Because at some point once and they are going to roya mundu kungoshaya basa chete anzi ndi firstborn,
zviri kostereka. Exactly. So true.
So maybe we can have an international day for firstborns. Firstborns because they go through a lot of things, those people.
Deputy parents.
Yeah. So yes, we encourage you, Garaneama. It's very important, because I always say that even as a couple, you also need to have a vision around how you're going to take care or how you're going to help your extended family. So that should be part of your vision.
So problem
of course.
It's under the same roof.
We must do that, but we must be very clear. My principles are to govern all that. If you do it without principles and you are not in agreement in as far as the principles are concerned, then you'll have challenges. For instance, you need to have what we call boundaries. Whenever you are relating with your extended family or members of the extended family, whether kurum, uncles, aunties, you just need to have what we call boundaries. So if you don't have those boundaries, people will just come in and do whatever they please, whatever they want to do, and they will say whatever they want because there are no boundaries. So if there are boundaries, even your language changes, when you're communicating with your extended family. For instance, you say my wife and I, my husband and I. So you then show your family where you come from, your family of origin. Could me and my wife, we are one.
Exactly.
So ukadakudena one wedu, kwadena tesitiri two. So apasina zvokuwandirana zvokuti munhu anouya kune brother yake achizokumbira mari anotenda kune muroora and anoziva kuti ndikaaprocha muroora, the same response that I will get from here is the same response that I get from my brother. So it's about implementing those principles, Weekend. If you don't do that, then definitely kugara neama kunonetsa. So it's my prayer that people will realize that we can't do this without boundaries. Very important. So today we're talking about super dads.
And a daddy.
The real ones. Yeah, because many times we talk about the negative. Yongoti vanadate havasikuita zvakati and I'm not saying kuti vari kuita zvese, but I'm saying that let's also not turn a blind eye to the progress that we see, when it comes to the evolution that is happening, the evolution of fatherhood. So I'm going to dive deeper into this weekend. I've got a seminar that we're doing for dads for men, this Saturday there's a men's breakfast. So I'll be talking about the evolution of fatherhood, because it's important for us to know sana baba tapa kupi, so that we attend to those issues that are quite difficult. We need to understand where we're coming from. So that's something that's coming up on Saturday. If you want to participate, please inbox me. It's strictly by registration, so you can inbox me, and then we can take you on board. So today we're talking about fathers, super dads. Like I said, I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about the ugly. I also want to highlight the progress, so that when I did it, due to us on Sunday. That's our day. We've been waiting for this day for the past 368 days. So the day is finally here, and I'm hoping that our fellow dads will actually get something as a form of feedback. When you give someone a present, you're actually giving them feedback to say, you know what, I appreciate. Because if we don't have these days, and we all do with some bit of appreciation. Toda ku appreciate, toda ku tendwa, toda ku notice the efforts that we are putting into all this, in as far as raising a family is concerned. So that's a very special day. Please, I need you to do something for your father. It's very important that you do that. And some of you might say, but I don't have a biological father and all that. But I believe that you have a father figure in your life. Identify that father figure. If you don't have, I think this is the right time to actually think about, having people that you go to, having people that then step in and participate in that role of being your father, your whether it's adopted father, whether it's whatever form of father, because fathers come in different forms. It is also important for you to know. It's not just biological, but there are some people that have played a fatherly role in your life. You also need to stop and say thank you to them. A big thank you. I also want to thank my spiritual father, Vikendi. Bishop Neva Mparuta. He's been an amazing dad to me. He has done a lot for me. And I want to also appreciate him while we still at it. So fathers are very important. They are very important, and they've done quite a lot. And we need to highlight some of the changes are positive. The memories that we have of our biological fathers are different from the memories that our children are building in this generation, in these days, in these times that we find ourselves in. It's this generation, we are Generation X, right? Between 1965 and 1980, that's Generation X, and then those that were born before us, one of my baby boomers. Then there's also the lost generation. There are all these generations that come before the Gen X. Most of us, Gen X and all these other generations that I'm talking about, we have certain memories of our fathers, and when you look at it, you can see that there's been some bit of progress. When you look at Vanababa, Varuguta, Father, my millennials, Gen Z, Generation Alpha, things have changed. And we need to appreciate that change. It might look small, but we need to appreciate that change. So I'm also saying this to someone, Mukazi, my dad is not being good and all that. I want you to take note of the small steps that we're taking, bearing in mind where we are coming from. It wasn't like that when some of us were growing up. Our dads were those kind of people you'd not see them. Then they'll come back maneru, and you'd not even interact with them. They'll come and take a particular seat, a particular seat, in the rocking chair. I don't know that you got rocking chair, but I'm sure whoever was making them, they noted there's been a lot of societal changes, and there's no need for us to my couple couches mamana did vanogara pamwechete paka pakaenzana kusina kunzi rakakwirira ndorababa kana kuti rinoroka rine suspension inoita kuti vaite zvavanoda. There's nothing like that, because there are changes that are happening, and we need to appreciate those changes, because even culture itself is dynamic. You don't want to remain stuck in 1940 or in 1920. You've got to understand these changes, and most of these changes are quite positive. So maybe on another day we'll talk about the different types of fathers that we have. We have a modern father, we have a traditional father, we have a kingdom father. A kingdom father is that father annotated my principles in Bible. And maybe with time we can actually get into that at some point. So the memories that we have of our fathers, tatina na baba kuti vaityisa kuapproacha, tatina na baba kuti they will only turn up when it's time for discipline. So whenever you see your father, you'd actually see mpurisa, kana kuti judge, kana kuti a prison officer, aruto make sure that you serve your sentence well. So it was not a healthy memory that we built then. So we are saying this so that you take note of the changes that are happening now, because vanababa wa mazvano, things have just changed. You know, things have just changed. You see them participating, kana kuma sports sector, they are trying the way. So we want to applaud the fathers, and I want to declare today that they deserve to be honored come Sunday. They deserve to be celebrated. Take them out for brunch. Take them out for a treat. Maybe my socks, but just try to do something nice, because there's been some changes. It's been difficult because we're not raised like that. We're not socialized like that. It's been difficult. But the point is, fathers have changed, and they've changed for the better. Mm-hmm. So I want us to take note of these changes, Vikendi. Note it's important for us to know why we are celebrating fathers today, particularly in this season that we find ourselves in. Fathers have done a lot. Number one, or maybe I can just quote a scripture. Mm-hmm. This is one of my favorite scriptures, Vikendi, Proverbs 20, verse 7. It says that children are fortunate if they have a father who is honest and does what is right. I want to repeat this again. Children are fortunate if they have a father who is honest and does what is right. That's according to Proverbs 20, verse 7. And I'm seeing a lot of fathers doing what is right. And I'm hoping those that are not yet there, they will learn and then they will improve. So where are we doing right? Number one, emotional availability. Emotional availability. You know, I know there are a lot of people that are expecting, Pastor Vachataura, you know, the ugly side of fathers. But let's take note of this. Come on, guys. Dads are doing well when it comes to that.
They are actually.
They are, right?
Yeah.
They're actually hugging their daughters.
Yes, men have really stepped up.
You mean hugging your daughter? Do you know that kuma 80s, kuma 60s, 70s, it was actually rare. You wouldn't do that. But now men have actually stepped up. They've come out of that shell, and they're stepping up emotionally. They are, are also able to identify their emotions and to regulate their emotions. Not to kudara mdara ita angutsa mwachete kutorowa munhu. Apana zvomboti chichi ndini baba. But now dads can actually sit down with their sons and their daughters and try to, to listen to them and try to understand their emotional makeup, what makes them upset, what makes them enjoy life, what makes them happy, things like that. And dads, if I'm going to mark them out of 10, guys, you have a deserved 9 out of 10 when it comes to emotional availability. Keep on doing it, guys. 9 out of 10 for you there. Then number 2, Vikendi, where we have actually improved as fathers, as modern fathers, or as fathers that are coming out, particularly from my generations, we've done well in terms of time. We've actually been able to create time and spend time never do. You see dads kuma playgrounds. We see dads kuma school activities. Mm-hmm. They are participating. We see fathers kuma activities, which is something that we never used to see, particularly us, my Gen Z, who grew up. Turns out Mama Chetu will be the one taking care of us and being there for us, and dads were always out there, trying to fulfill their role as providers. And they're still providers, but they're trying to juggle now. Fathers of today, they are juggling between work and family time. And that's a plus for the fathers of this generation. And we must applaud them for that. They are creating time. Sakavana Baba, I know we don't have time. I know we don't have time. Why? Because we are providers and we need to be out there looking for money, working for the family. But and then you lose that family at the end of the day. ukafa mari yacho ichaenda kupi vana vacho vachaita sei, you're not going to do anything better for your kids if you don't spend time with them. So vana baba, please, in as much as we are busy, let's try to spend time with our kids. It's important. You don't want mwana wako kuti akure ane memory yokuti daddy was never there, daddy was not available. You don't want that. So you've got a chance to create moments. Mwana wako ngazive kuti you are busy, but you also value them and you create them, because vana vako, they are a priority. Your job comes second, your job comes third, or whatever position. But number one, prioritize your family, and family time is very important. You are busy. Dzidziratsika, a ritual. Last week we were talking about rituals, and today we're supposed to talk about rituals, but because of Father's Day, we thought we'd just divert a bit, and we'll come back to that next week. There's a ritual, blocking time. Learn to block time. This is us time, this is family time, this is the time that I spend with my kids, and there's nothing more important that I can be doing at that particular time. So it's time that is reserved for my family and my kids. So dads, I'll give you a 9 there out of 10. You're doing well in terms of creating time. Those that are not yet there, please, ngati shande, so that we can create time for our family. Then number 3, what I also note with my fathers, where they've actually improved, co-caring. Remember, my generations akudhara, basa ravo ranga riri kungoprovider rekutsvaga chikafu nemari and all that, ma-school fees vachitsvaga vachimhanya. But now we have come back to that role ye co-caring with our wives. We are now the co-caring, because kudhara it was just mom who was supposed to take care of the kids, but now dads can actually do it. A dad can actually go for a month or 2, maybe asina basa, asusenza mkazi achienda kubasa, and a dad can actually be caring for the kids at that particular time. So it's something that we can do now. But unfortunately, with some African cultures I was studying, I noted that there are some African cultures that they're still, not yet there. Vana dedi basa randungo tsvaga chete mari nokungo itisavana, and then they leave it there. Vana ivavo vanotokura kuti even nemasenemu ana amai. Because there are cultures that are like that in Africa. But my hope and prayer is that we'll be able to co-care together as a couple, because that's our role given to us by God, that of parenting. You find that most parenting scriptures, they mention the father. So it's important for you as a dad to step up and and become a co-carer with your wife as you take care of the kids that God has given you. Saka varume, you're doing well as well. Akusina statement yekunzi vana ndivamai, mwana akachema unonzi ngadzokere kuna mai vake, uyatore mwana wako. Mwana akazvimesa up manepis ake, uyatore mwana wako. I see dads stepping up and they're doing it comfortably. Now it's common to see mwana akatakurwa nababa wake, akatoiswa pa front apa akabhabhurwa nababa wake. It's common to see that, and I think that's a milestone. Though I see most men doing it when it comes to their firstborns, secondborn, thirdborn, dololo, nothing that happens. But come on, guys, we can do it all the way up to the lastborn. We can still do it. Then there's also the issue of homework. They're also participating in homework. They're doing homework.
So now hands diaper and bat.
You can do anything.
Imagine, yeah. So you're saying homework as well, yeah.
Homework as well. There are some people that have a belief homework, but it's also we believe whoever is able. Because remember the word responsibility, when you look at that word, it's made up of 2 words, response and ability. If you are able in that particular area and you respond because you are able, you are being a responsible person. Saka kana uchigona maths, aungosiye kuti mdzimai wako aitise maths iye asingagone maths dzacho, and you just say kuti homework ndiana mai. It doesn't work. Then the big one, Vikendi, pregnancy and labor. There's a marked improvement there. We see a great number of men actually getting into that space, theater room, watching and standing by the side of mdzimai wake as they give birth. And it's something that inini rangu personally I actually regret. I don't know, pavana vangu esvaritiri weekend, I don't know, something will just come up and then this somboripo labor room, and I regret that. And vazhinji vamazuvano, particularly women, they are very alert to that. And all your life you'll be told this pregnancy ndangandirindega. And gents, if you're listening to me, if your wife is pregnant, please walk with them. If they're going to go into the theater room, please walk with them. You don't want to create a memory. You were never there. I was pregnant and I was all alone in this pregnancy. And I'm telling you, that will haunt you for the rest of your life. So please try to work on that. Weekend, there's just a lot. We want to talk about
where did the time go?
We're going to talk about father wounds and all those things, but I think that's for another time.
Wow, thank you so much, Pastor Simba. For those who want to get in touch with you.
Okay, please come through to my WhatsApp number 0773 000 000 or 773 000 000. Please, I need your name. I also need your marital status before we start any conversations. Your name, marital status, so that I can add you to a respective broadcasting list. So please come through and we'll help you.
And thank you for sharing, because tans when as men in every corner. Pastor Simba, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to next week's session. It is Star FM back with you again on the Morning Galaxy. Remember to pray, keep trusting God, and tomorrow belongs to God. 12 midday, time for Now in Daba.